Hello! Remember how I said I was going to have a drink before I start recording? Yeah, that occurred to me seconds before I hit record button. And also... But hey, this is the high level of professionalism you've come to expect from this show. But nobody's actually watching. Unless Colorado's watching, in which case, hey. Not too much to report. I've managed to tidy up the side a little bit. I don't know if I made it better or worse, but I have got the plastic bag out the way. So there's that, and I've got my pen pots back. Where are we? There we go. Look, oh, look. One of them is just pens. One is pencils and scissors and other useful things. And the other one is coloured pens, like, you know, gel pens and such. I have a lot of stationery, was what I'm saying. I always have like note paper next to me, so I'm always ready to take a note of some description. And I don't actually need to very often, but I like knowing it's there, you know? Well, maybe I don't need to buy all the pens. So yeah, pens, pencils, there's a tub of crayons there. It's mostly stuff I just collect over time. But, you know, it's useful to have to hand. You know, now I can just grab a pen. And then see what just dropped. Oh no, don't want to lose that one. This one was a little, I went to London for my birthday. And my sister like got me actual birthday presents and you know, they really made an effort and went all out for me. So it wasn't like, you know, oh, here you go, have a pen, here's your present. No, this is like an extra. And he's a little man. I know it's kind of somewhat cliche to get like, you know, for a British person to get like London pens. I suppose if I lived in the north it wouldn't be quite as cliche, you know, with the London. So yeah. I like pens is what I'm saying, and there's quite a lot in there. I didn't count, but there's a lot. More than 20 easily. So, yeah, not quite as neat and tidy as I'd hoped to get it, because I've still got like another box of stuff in the corner that does need something doing with it, but I just like, oh, you know what, it's getting towards the end of the day. I don't have the space to move things where I want them to, so we'll call it done for now. It's still tidying out the way and looks better than it did. So halfway there? Don't know. So how have you all been? Actually, there's the question. Is it just me, or when you find out you're sorting stuff, like doing a big sort, whether or not it's the whole room or just a section of the room, you always end up with a pile of stuff? Like, I mean, occasionally, yeah, you're going to end up with bits of rubbish. Now, why is that in there? Go away. But, like, you know, just, like, bits and pieces that don't, you know, you got, here's a pile of pens. Here's a pile of hairbands. You know, here, well, hairbands, hairbrushes, stuff like this. You know, here's a few, I don't know, erasers, or just stuff that makes sense that you would have a few of them. And then a random bead, a broken hair clip, you know, well, pens that don't work, that's normal, but just a collection of bits and pieces that don't actually make sense and can't be sorted out neatly into one of these other piles. Or maybe the bits and pieces are still of a good quality, but they don't go with the piles. You know, so what am I going to do with all this stuff? Pop, chuck, done. But maybe it's just me. I don't know. But anyway, that's today's misadventures in trying to organise. Shh, ponies. And there's today's questions. I'm really bombing through them. I think it's the bookmark. But yeah, we're getting through it. We're doing alright. We're doing okay. Let's see what the question is. Oh, of course. What's the best advice you've ever received? Now that I'm sure we've had before. Straight up and fly right. Try not to be too pushy. You know, I really should have thought on this yesterday because I figured that would come up. But then again, I thought we already had that question. Ever received? I always, when I was a kid, usually, well, other lessons as well, but it was more notable in English. I used to get my B's and my D's muddled up, and like lowercase B's and D's. So what my teacher told me was, think of the word bed. Your B, E, your D, and it makes a bed. So that is actually something I've used quite a lot actually. So there you go, bed. And yes, it's terrible writing. I'll try and make it a bit more even. Slightly less even, but yeah, you get the idea. So that's a good piece of advice I've received. That was when I was a lot younger, back in my school days. Not direct advice, it was on a TV show, but I think I've mentioned this before. If you get a bit of eggshell caught in your egg mix, use another piece of eggshell to get it out. That actually does work. I've tested that. Again, the sort of stuff I passed on yesterday about just being a good person. I wouldn't necessarily this is advice, but something my mum always said. She said, "Oh, a liar's worse than a thief. Oh, can't stand lie." And it's like, it was one of these things that kind of got drilled into me, and now I never lie. So I don't know if that's necessarily advice. And I've said before, it's not like I'm incapable of lying. You know, I can do the white lie thing. It's just that I really, really don't like to. You know, I can't see the point in it. I mean, yeah, grand scheme of things, I can imagine situations where lying about something, you know, especially if it's to save face or to save someone's feelings or something like that, or because you're a lying liar who lies and therefore you think it's worth your time to do so. Not being political or anything. I mean, like, you know, to use Mother's example, a thief would lie about having stolen something. So, yeah. I understand the mechanics. I have lied, you know, save face. I mean, I can white lie. You know, oh, you're late. Yeah, sorry, I got caught in the loo. Yeah. No, I'm just late because I've got terrible timekeeping. So yeah, don't lie. Always clean your teeth. I mean, you know, it's simple everyday life advice, but it's true. You should always clean your teeth, because otherwise, you know, you're gonna have, well, okay, I have missing teeth now, but you know, this was more recent. You know, up until then. Let's think. What was it? Don't expose yourself to bright lights. Don't feed yourself after midnight, and never get wet. Or is that Gremlins? Speaking of movie quotes, your future hasn't been written yet, so go out and make it a good one. Thanks, Doc. That's actually something that kind of does stick with you. It's kind of like, be you. Do what you want to do. Be the best you can be. You know, I think be nice to each other, and that's a good thing to do. But also, you know, look out for each other, and be the best you. Take care of. I know it sounds kind of selfish, and it's not necessarily something. I don't ascribe to a selfish way of life. Or at least I try not to. But at the end of the day, you should take care of number one. You should take care of yourself, because whilst it's nice to want to be friendly and open and helping everyone, it's not always healthy. You gotta take care of your mental health. So yeah, I mean, be a good person and help other people for sure, but you know, don't forget you. And I think that's a good piece of advice that I'm sure I've received somewhere along the lines, that, you know, it's okay to care, but this person here, you know, needs it as well. So, you know, or you or whoever. So yeah, look out for each other, and be nice to each other, but don't forget to take care of yourself first, because if you spread yourself too thin, then you can't help anyone, and it's not, yeah, it's not so good. So anyway, that's today's video. Sorry to get a bit maudlin. I have fixed him. I fixed his feet. Managed to glue him back together. But I still haven't rewritten the label. But this is my Twitter, if you want to follow me. It's also quite wobbly. You know, any advice that you want to share? Or do you have advice on organising better? Because that would help everyone, but especially me. But otherwise, as always, thank you for watching. I completely appreciate it. I've been Michelle, you've been listening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!